Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Iceberg Lounge. I'm one of your hosts, Thomas Single, and with me is the co-host, Randy Dobbins.
Hello.
We are finally back. We've been gone for a second. I just got over some COVID-19, and so now I'm finally back to be able to record. Today we're going to be talking about a possible Microsoft monopoly that seems to be happening and about to come into fruition. So yeah, let's get started. All right. So the big news that came out recently was that Microsoft bought
Activision Blizzard.
which is a gaming developer. And
Probably
so,
most notably known for making Call of Duty.
and World of Warcraft. And so it seems now we're getting all this information from Adam from the show Adam Ruins Everything. He posted a TikTok talking about this, and it's just very important to get out there and just to talk about between me and Randy, who are both gamers. It seems that Microsoft is going to be using Activision to undercut the entire video game industry, because most games that are produced new are around $60 or $70.
I I would say between 50 and 70 myself.
Yeah, I would
It
agree with you on that too.
depending on the game.
Yeah, I would agree. So I would probably say 50 to 70 as well. And not only that, but they're that range because obviously they're taking so much money to make in the first place, sometimes as much as making a movie.
And they could take as long as a movie to make. They could take years to make.
Exactly. Where Microsoft introduced late last year, it seemed, if I remember correctly, um, Microsoft Game Pass, where you don't necessarily even have to own an Xbox. You can have it on your laptop and play these games.
Are you talking about? Is it Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass?
Um, it could be Microsoft or it could be called Xbox.
Because I looked it
I
up.
just know that Microsoft is over it.
Yeah. Xbox Game Pass, because I looked it up. Because I looked up when Game Pass released, and it says Xbox Game Pass released June 1st, 2017.
2017. So this has been going on 2017. Xbox Game Pass owned by Microsoft. And now you have all these hundreds of games for just $9.99 a month.
See, here's the thing, though. Like, you said, you can do it on your Xbox or your
laptop.
You can even do it on your cell phone.
Exactly, which...
Because, like, think about that. Like, you can sit here and play a round of COD while I'm sitting here doing this podcast with you.
Exactly. And that, honestly, is revolutionary when it comes to breaking out of the console. Not saying there's nothing wrong with consoles, but it doesn't limit Xbox to consoles. It's like you don't have to buy an Xbox to be playing technically on an Xbox.
Yeah.
Which is revolutionary. But it seems so good, but it's also like
killing the industry, kind of.
It's almost like rat poisoning. It's like, and why they use rat poison is because it's sweet. But yeah, it's sweet, but it's eventually gonna kill. And so now with Microsoft buying all these game publishers, they can now put those games on Game Pass. And so now you just have to pay
Like,
$10 a month and you can play all these games for free.
or yeah, you can pay $10 and some probably some change and play hundreds of games. Honestly, and
Like,
think about it. I mean, that's not even all that bad.
no, it isn't. And see, with some of these properties, I wrote down some of them he was saying. You have Doom, Wolfenstein, Quake, Halo, Call of Duty, The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Overwatch, StarCraft, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, Minecraft, Guitar Hero, Gears of War, and the Tony Hawk games. Those are just some of the properties.
And let's be real. Honestly, the big ones out of that are Doom, Halo, COD, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and Minecraft.
And not counting, are they gonna let Fortnite be a part of this?
See, I don't think it would be since it's free to play.
It's free to play, but if Xbox is like, yeah, let's put it on Game Pass, now you've opened cell phone users to be using it again through Game Pass.
Yeah.
And so now cell phone users can play it again for just $10 a month. Um, which they could probably cut Epic some of that money for.
Yeah,
Uh,
honestly.
and
See,
so like
I can definitely see Epic partnering with Microsoft just to get it back on like Android's iPhones.
exactly, because that would be kind of a way around their Apple ban. Because App, Apple Apple's not going to ban my
No.
like. Then there's going to be so much loss for Apple.
Oh yeah.
And so he used an example, and it made a bunch of sense. Like using Call of Duty for an example, instead of buying the new Call of Duty for 50, 60, 70
No,
bucks.
no. See, here's the thing. Like this is something I was saying earlier. COD would probably be the high end of 70, to be
It,
honest.
exactly. Now you could just buy the Game Pass for $10 a month. And not only would you get the new COD, but you would get all the other games as well.
Hey, this is Thomas Single from the Iceberg Lounge, and I'm here to talk to you today about Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place, and guess what? It's absolutely free, which you can use right from your cell phone or computer just like I do. They even have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds amazing. They'll even distribute your podcast for you. You don't even have to do it yourself. So it can be heard everywhere from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. So why don't you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started?
Yeah, like
And
so
yeah,
much. Because if you think about it, would you rather buy the brand new COD game for $70 or have it and hundreds of others for 10? Like,
and that's the thing is it's almost making it to where like cuz I'm a PlayStation guy myself. I know you are too, Randy.
see, like I am now, but I have had both.
Yeah, same here. But it's almost making me almost hop over because like with PlayStation, to be able to have all the games you truly want, you would need PS Plus plus PlayStation Now. memberships, which would obviously be way more than $10 a month.
Yeah.
And with Game Pass, it's like you just have to pay this one price, and we're not gonna do another system to where you have to pay this other thing for you to get all the rest of the games you want.
And see, it's also Sony, Sony and Nintendo. Like they could also. It's also they don't do as much as Microsoft does.
Exactly, because like Nintendo does games and cards.
Yeah.
Sony does video games and headphones. But see, like what we're about to talk about right here is like Sony and Nintendo couldn't even make a Game Pass of their own.
Because Microsoft could do it because Microsoft makes like video games, operating systems for computers, web services, tons of other things to where they make millions or billions of dollars every year.
Yeah,
And
they can
so
they can take the loss.
they can take the loss.
Exactly, and not have to worry about it at all because they have a deal right now that I didn't know until this video by Adam Ruins Everything, where literally for $25 a month you can get a actual Xbox console and the Game Pass for $25 a month.
Yeah, until you pay it off.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, like you would and I hate to say it, you would never see Sony do that.
No, definitely not when I was shocked that I even got a PS5.
Cause
Like,
think how
no,
much because think how long you had to wait to get that.
exactly.
2 years, and it take and you can easily get an Xbox probably faster than that.
Exactly. They're stacked up in the back like wood, and it for $25 a month. Like it would take you $25 a month, maybe a year or two to pay it off, but it's still just $25 a month.
Yeah,
And not and you don't and it once you make a Game Pass account, I mean, you don't even have to be at home to continue playing your games. You can bring your laptop with you to a hotel if you're traveling and play.
or you can have your phone. See, they make these things for your phone, and it's kind of like one half a controller. One goes on the left, one goes on the right, and it acts like a your phone's like the controller, and you have the game on your screen. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, it's just it's so smart, and it even makes me kind of be like, okay, I might be debating on eventually switching over once maybe PlayStation puts out the next gen console.
Yeah.
Cause like it's just such a good deal to literally not pass it up. Because he was calling it the Amazon strategy to where they're wanting to be the Amazon of video games to where there's no need for nobody else. And it's kind of scary because you've got to also think because of this strategy they are doing,
They're eventually going to put everyone else out of business.
and because of that, you're going to lose a bunch
No,
of jobs in the gaming industry.
no more Fortnite.
And then because they're the only person in town, they can put any game at any price and there's no competition. Because they can say, all right, now Game Pass is
Sorry,
uh,
I had a call coming in.
it's all good. But now it's just like Game Pass or Microsoft can be like, all right, since we're the only people in town, Game Pass is now $100 a month.
Yeah. What say start driving out people and like putting people out of business, they can instantly strike that price up to upwards of 20, 30, $40,
Exactly. And PlayStation said that when who did they buy out recently as well?
Bungie.
Bungie. PlayStation said they didn't do it as a response to Microsoft,
But we know,
but I feel like that's cap.
I thought that's a lie. Because, like, why else would you just go out and buy Bungie?
Because now it's almost like a Cold War type of situation to where they're both trying to beat each other to the moon.
And see, the thing is, Bungie created Halo, but Halo is owned by Microsoft.
Exactly. And so I can see PlayStation and now trying to compete with Microsoft by buying out other gaming developers, and then eventually maybe trying to do their own type of game pass. Nintendo, I think, is safe because they have such a big influence in the Asia market.
Well, not only that, they have Zelda, Mario, Pokemon. That's like their big three.
Yeah,
And
like
you know how much like passion those fans have for, and not only Mario, Zelda, and the Pokemon fans have for Nintendo, but how much Nintendo fans support Nintendo.
exactly. And so I think the only company that would be put out of business would be PlayStation
Yeah.
out of this, which is kind of sad, but then it'd be type of thing to where Nintendo can maybe buy up some PlayStation properties at that point to kind of beef up themselves a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, that that is pretty much all that I got out of we got out of that TikTok. Um and we'll update on any more buyouts or any more stuff, kind of like what we've been covering with the college football conferences, because this seems to almost kind of be the same thing but in the video game space, to where everyone's trying to get as many people as they can to try to make themselves as big as they can because they're trying to get a power grab.
Yeah, like I feel like eventually it's gonna ruin gaming, to be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna throw out this question for our Spotify listeners. And if you don't listen on Spotify and you still want to answer the question, um, get you a Spotify just to answer the questions. Um, but the Spotify question of the day is Microsoft trying to become a monopoly? And so if you answer that in the next episode of the podcast, we might put your answer live on the podcast. Want more content from me and Randy? Go check us out on Twitch at Iceberg Gaming TTV and Itsktowngaming, where we stream multiple games live.
We're also on YouTube at Thomas RJ Engel and K-Town Gaming, where we play 3 games and have other content for you to enjoy. If you want to follow us on social media, all of them will be in the details of this episode. Support us at patreon.com/TRJI, where you can get our content first before anyone. If you are unable to invest in us monetarily, then you can by following, leaving reviews, chatting with us, liking, commenting, and sharing. Thank you for the support.
Thank you for listening to the Iceberg Lounge. Don't forget to give us a follow, leave us a review, and share this episode. Know God loves you, and we love you, and always remember, all to God. See you in the next episode.